Hi, welcome to the FingerNailFixer vlog. I'm so excited you could join me. You never know what you're going to find on the vlog from week to week. It's going to be anything and everything nails, from talking about nails to doing nails, nail tutorials. Check out things on Facebook and Instagram. We'll be looking at nail products. We'll be talking about disinfection. We'll be doing everything and anything nails. So please reach down and click on subscribe or even join me every week on the FingerNailFixer vlog. Hey Fingernail Fixer freaks, it's another Premier Orlando vlog. There are going to be several of these. And this one is from the Wildflowers booth, and it's not the usual fearless leader that we are accustomed to seeing in Lauren Wireman. It's actually being run by a new face. So I will let her introduce herself and tell you about her journey from coming to her first Premier Orlando as a student, and now she's actually here at Premier Orlando distributing for Wildflowers Nail Academy. And it's a really cool story, and she's a really cool person that I have so enjoyed getting to know over the years. And she's going to tell you her story while also doing a nail demo. That's talent. So I hope you enjoy not only the demo, but also getting to know RussAnna.
Hey y'all, hey, my name is RussAnna. I'm from Dahlonega, Georgia, and I'm here at Premier Orlando with Holly, and let's just talk about myself, so this should be interesting. While doing nail art. Yes. Anyone that knows me knows I get really quiet when I'm doing nail art, so this will be like the ultimate challenge for myself.
We'll do it interview style, so you're good to go.
Okay, great.
We'll pop this over here so they can see the nail.
Alrighty. So I'm going to do like a fun line design with our Wildflower pop-up gel. I'm so sorry, I'm about to get a tickle.
Oh yeah, you definitely don't want to accidentally cough in the post-COVID world.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Anyone that's talked for 2 days straight knows that happens no matter what.
Yes, yeah, especially the late afternoon, and it's like, oh, hydrate the vocal cords. Right. So okay, so I'm going to use our Wildflowers white pop-up gel and our Angels Microglitter for this design. So, okay, so, and I'm using our magenta brush. So, all right, so I've loaded my brush, and this is a fun design that will probably take us back to our kindergarten days when our kindergarten art teachers told us to draw lines and not have them touch, but get close. So we're going to do varying thicknesses, and then we'll sugar it.
Fun.
Yes, and then we'll cure it and dust it off. So that's basically what the technique is. So while I'm talking about myself, you'll know what I'm doing.
Awesome.
So
you came to Premier Orlando for the first time as a student.
Yes.
What was your experience then?
Oh my gosh, it was overwhelming, but I totally realized that I had found my flock. It was 2015. A friend of mine who was also a student, she was just like, hey, there's this show called Premier Orlando. And I was like, shows? Like, they have like shows for nails? And she's like, oh my gosh, yes, it's like a beauty show. And I'm like, all right, sure. Okay, let's do this.
Right, why not?
Yeah. And besides, who wouldn't want a weekend in Orlando with no kids? Like, sign me up.
A vacation and I get to write it off?
Right. And so when I'm here, I'm like, oh my gosh. Number one, there are like so many amazing, talented people. They're super friendly. They're sharing all their tips and tricks and secrets. And then there's so many products that I didn't even know about that that they were demoing. I got to play, and like, oh my gosh, you talk about my brain was like light bulbs going off, just overwhelmed, and I was like, oh my gosh. But I knew at that moment, like, I had found my people, and this was what I was meant to do. This was going to be truly my calling that would fulfill every aspect. My love for business, marketing, art, social. I mean, you know, when you go to work, you don't know what's going to happen on any given day. And so it makes it all new and exciting. And so, yeah. So then I came back in 16. I brought my husband. And I was just like, okay.
Hey,
so,
husband.
Hey.
Right? Look at how fabulously glitterified he is. So I thought, okay, this is going to go one of two ways. I'm either going to save a whole lot of money because he's going to be like, really, Russ, you need that color again? Like, how many purples can you possibly own? But instead, he was like, hey, Russ, come over here. Did you see? He's like, I don't think you have this shade of purple. Oh. He's like, did you see this right here? And not one time did he make me feel bad for the 50 million polishes I bought, or, you know, some of the, you know, the choices of glitter.
That's what a unicorn husband looks like.
Right?
Like, shows you where the nail stuff is.
Right? And so, it was incredible. So that same year I did a turn-in with the Nail Pro, and the theme was cakes. And so Gwen was a huge coach for me, as well as Dee Dee Desmond's. And it was like Dee Dee actually introduced me to Gwen, and she was like, Russ, Gwen is like a really big competitor. She'll definitely, you know, she'll make sure that you have all, you know, what you need to know.
Yeah, Gwen's an awesome person to follow on Instagram for help.
She is, and she has such a heart of service and really wanting to see you be successful. And so as a competitor, it's like, it was my first time. I had just finished school, like January 26th of 16. Okay, that was my end date of nail school, and so I had just taken a class, and I learned how to build a 3D rose, and now I'm doing a 3D competition. I was like, what? So her just working with me and recommending all sorts of tips and tricks was so instrumental. And then I when I got to meet her in person, you know, I'm talk about fangirling. You know,
right?
We had
like meeting your hero.
Yeah, like we had talked on the phone so many nights, and here she was in Denver, I was in Georgia, and so we're gonna go on the light here. So we were talking on the phone, and I would show her, and she's like, okay, this is looking good, but you need to do it again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how many times do I have to do this one nail again? And so we finally met, and I'm so proud. She wanted me to have like 13 nails for her to view, and we would discuss which nails would get submitted the next day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was like so excited to go and meet her. And so we picked, and she's like, okay, I want you to do one more nail. And I'm like, what do you mean one more nail? It's like, no, my husband and I are going to Disney. Like, we have this whole thing planned out, you know? And she's just like, she looks at me dead serious with a straight face, and she says, losers go to Disney, winners stay in their hotel room, and they produce another nail. And of course, my husband is just as excited to go to Disney, and he looks at me and he's just like, so we're gonna stay in the hotel room, right? And I'm like, you want to stay in the hotel? Where Disney is like less than 5 minutes from us, and you want to stay in the hotel room? He's like, I want you to be successful. So I knew, like, right then and there, I was just like, okay, he is like an amazing man. And so now we're just gonna dust it off, and you don't even need to top coat it, and it's gonna sparkle. And look how pretty that is.
Oh, you don't have to top coat the puffy gel?
No, you don't. You don't. Now, if you have issues with texture, then that's definitely not going to be the design for you. But, you know, if you're cool with texture.
So, no pickers allowed.
But yeah, so we entered it, and then it was Sunday afternoon, today's Monday. I don't know what day of the week it is. Anyways, it was the last day of the show, and we're getting ready for the awards ceremony, and I'm like pacing, and my husband's trying to hold my hand and be all, I'm like, just don't touch me. And then I saw everyone else's work, and I'm like, there's just no way. There's just, no, it's not. The work was fantastic and beautiful, and I'm like, there's just no way. I'm going to cheer everyone else on.
I remember your entry. It was amazing.
But still, like, there were so many other phenomenal entries at the same time, you know, and it was just like, you know, you see what everyone's producing, and you're like, I just finished school. I just learned how to do a 3D rose. Let's just be real. I'm learning. This is an opportunity to learn. So then they, like, third place, they announced the person. I'm like, yay! And I'm like, oh, that's third place. Psh, forget it. I'm definitely not getting on the stage. And then, and so they called second place, and I'm like, and they called my name, and I'm like, what? And so, and like, Tim's like nudging me, like, they called your name, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Now, afterward, it was incredible. And so afterwards, I'd done like this really big boo-boo. I wrote my name on the back of my entry because I wanted to make sure I got it back. I like just slaved hours and weeks of my life on these 10 nails that were submitted, and I had really done probably 50. And so I went up to Carla and, you know, just kind of get feedback, and she's like, you are so lucky that no one knows who you were, because you would have been disqualified. And I was just like, she's like, don't ever, it's blind. I was like, I'm sorry, I did that, you know. I was like, I just wanted to make sure I got it back. So yes, so if you ever want to compete and you're turning in, don't ever put your name, nothing on there. They're really good about keeping it and making sure it gets back to you. So then the next year, I started competing more, and then Lauren asked me to come and work the booth, and I was just like, and of course, I was freaking out because number one, again, I'm a year into my professional career, and Lauren Wireman is calling me. And I like wake my husband, and she called me fairly early in the morning, and Tim was still in bed. I think it was a day off or so, I don't know. And I start whacking him, and he's just like, what? I'm like, Lauren Wireman from Wildflowers just called me. I was like, I didn't even know she knew my number or knew how to find, you know, it was like, right. It was like
I didn't know she knew my name.
Right? Exactly. And now she's calling me, and I was like, hey, get this, she wants me to work. What? And he's just like, well, good. And so came and worked with her, and then she asked me to go to the next trade show and the next trade show, and so then been doing that with her for several years. And then now that you know, we're coming out of, you know, the new way of living,
the new world.
Yeah, and I don't even want to say post because
it'll be here forever.
Yeah. She, you know, and she's in a new stage in her life. You know, she's adopted 2 beautiful girls with her husband. They're so adorable. They're little. I just love them. I just love seeing them. And so she was just like, right now we're just in a different phase. And as a company, we're not necessarily going to be at Wildflower or be at Premiere, but we do want to have a presence. And I had reached out to her because I was like, hey, you know, I was thinking about, you know, going up to Massachusetts to Dana Lynn's show. You know, like, what do you think? It's like a nails only, it's small. I think that's something I could handle. And she's like, absolutely. And while I got you on the phone, what about Premiere? And I'm like, excuse me? You mean Premiere Orlando? Are you Premiere Orlando? She's like, yeah, you know, we're not going to be there, all that good stuff. And she's just like, you and Tim would be amazing. I would totally trust y'all to do this. And I'm like, but it's Premiere Orlando. I was like, that's like, I like to lovingly call it like the beast because it's so big and there's so many components. And she's like, you can do it. And I was like, well, I mean, I've worked this show, so I know what to expect. I can do it, but I mean, this is like a new position. So
well, at least this one, being the first one after COVID, has been like Premier Orlando Junior.
Yeah, it really has. And it's really nice because it's, you know, we're getting to interact with people on a more intimate level. I have the most amazing team. Like I have my nail wife, Chanel, working with me, who is so incredibly talented. Like she started off as a cosmetologist and as my client, and then I recruited her to come and work with me and hang out with me, and that has just been an amazing, amazing journey. I have Jotana, who I absolutely love and adore, who ironically we met in person at a Premier Orlando show a few years ago. And we instantly hit it off. And so then I have my husband. So I couldn't ask for a better team, who are knowledgeable, they're approachable, they're fun, there's no drama. We're all about helping each other. So, I mean, it's just like, it's been like this perfect, you know, I don't want to say utopia, but you know, it's just been like truly a dream. Like I couldn't ask for anything different. You know, the energy of the people that are here, everyone is ready to see each other and just love on each other, but socially respecting. You know, like there's been a beautiful respect.
Yes.
You know, and it's just been, I mean, it's just so nice just to be back interacting and just seeing everyone and feeding off of everyone's energy, because it really does, it renews my spirit, and I hope it renews other people's. Like they get excited and it's like, oh, you know, let me go home, I have those inks and I forgot how to use them, and it's like, oh, let's play. And
yeah,
it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome.
So yeah,
well, congratulations on your journey. It's
Thank
amazing
you.
to see your growth from student to professional and distributor. I'm very proud of you.
well, thank you. It's been a crazy journey. Like when I really like think about the amount of time I've been in the industry, and then it's like where I'm at, and I'm just like, I can't wait to see what tomorrow holds. So I see things that are coming up on the horizon, but it's like, it's crazy. So it's who knew I would get to see the world, meet the most amazing people, all doing nails.
Exactly.
And making really good money. I just want to throw that out there, you know.
So there's potential in nails.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's really quite interesting because my dad works with the National Guard as an educational specialist. So he works with a lot of soldiers, and you know, they have the GI Bill and they're going to school, you know, whatever. And so there was this one guy that said, oh, you don't want to go to school for cosmetology or nails. There's no money in that. And I was so proud of my dad. My dad piped up and he's like, sir, you haven't met my daughter. And he's like, and you probably haven't met her friends, because they're all really successful and they all take really nice vacations. So don't tell me there's not money in nails. So
I love that.
Yes.
Let's close on that note, because that is brilliant.
Bye, y'all.
So I hope that inspires you, if you are doing nails or thinking about doing nails, to know that there are different ways to find success in the nail community, and just expand outside of the box from behind the table, or just know that there are distributors out there that care about you as a nail professional. Thanks for joining me.